just a few days ago, we got a little sideways at the front of the program because of an issue. I'm a picky person. I'm picky. I'm picky about things. I like things in a certain way. I'm very picky, but I've found out that compared to me, I am in no way picky compared to the great Brian Last, who is a picky person. Picky, picky, picky. You are a picky person.
Well, maybe.
And you threw me off. You threw me off. You actually made the great Jim Cornette doubt himself and have self-confidence issues for the first time ever by your recent malignment of the loyal and trustworthy and trusted and comfortable and casual headset that I wear and record the shows with, that I've done it's the only one I've ever had it all these years. But it sounds terrible. You need to get a new one. You need to get a new one. And things happened on the drive-through this past Monday. And we got a little sideways for that. I can't believe that you would add it at this stressful time, Brian Last, of Jim Cornette's life, with my land office business on the website and holidays and family and traveling and retirement this weekend from managing, that you would put me through all of that you put me through.
May I say something about all of this?
Please do.
Well, you see, Jim, I have a certain standard I live by, a certain standard I want my work to have. I take a lot of care, and I try to apply quality across the board to anything I work on. And I think that's why my podcasts have done so well, because they actually are quality. They're quality. And I want the Jim Cornette Experience and Jim Cornette's Drive-Thru, available every Monday and Thursday, to have that same quality. So when I tell you, very carefully, trying to ease you into it, when I tell you that your microphone is dog shit, I'm telling you that from a point of view of I want to make you better.
It's tough love is what you're saying. It's positive, negative, positive reinforcement.
Do you want a producer to try to make you better, or do you want Bruce Pritchard?
Well, hey!
No. I'm not saying he's a yes man, but my point is, do you want someone who's going to push you to go to the next level, or do you want someone who's going to be like, hey, it sounds like you're tap dancing on the microphone. Who cares? It's a podcast.
Well, okay, well, wait a minute. Let's not run off and leave the people, because we did have a conversation. Should we just play for the folks? Because, see, I've had people, and we'll talk about it, I've had people on Twitter contact me on the Twitter machine and say, Jim, you don't sound so bad. What's Brian busting your balls about?
Because I edit you. Because the reason I want you to get the new microphone.
Are you censoring me?
I don't censor you, but I take out a lot of the noises.
Oh, well, hold on. Can we play the footage of what the conversation we had about this whole thing from the drive-through this past Monday, just to keep everybody up to date?
If you really want to. I mean, it's on the drive-through. People can hear it on the drive-through, but if you really want to.
Well, let's give them a bonus here today before we go any further.
You see?
This way.
More editing work.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
All right, well, let's go to this clip.
But, you are on my last nerve already, Brian Last, here today. We have had fucking malfunctions at the junction, and it don't take a lot of your gravy to go all over my plate under normal circumstances, but I'm especially sopped today that now you got me so daggum self-conscious. I don't know whether to wind my ass or scratch my watch.
Scratch your watch.
On this program here. Are you going to tell the people how you've destroyed my self-confidence and browbeat me over the last week or so to the point now it's taken us a half an hour just to start a show? I feel like Ron Wright. It's taken us a half an hour up here now on TV Hill Big Jim Hess for us to even start this show, and now you're going to come up with all this confounded stuff and give me this, and I'll tell you what. That's the way Ron Wright would have said it. But tell the people, don't be ashamed. Tell the people what you've done to me.
This is such bullshit. So, if you are a regular listener of the Jim Cornette podcast, you may have noticed, especially lately, Jim's microphone seems to be going into business for itself. Cracking and popping and dancing all over the screen.
And now, I've had the same microphone, the same headset, if you will. It's a headset's what it is, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Why my choice of headset is a headset. I've had the same one since I started doing the podcast. How long's it been now? 4 years?
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years ago, when I was approached to do a podcast, I said, what the fuck is Skype? Was my first question. Second question was, I don't have to leave the house. And third question was, and you'll send me the headset. And I plugged it into my goddamn computer gimmick, and I've worn it. It's fit to my head now. I've even got an extra bald spot on the top where it wears my hair. But we're comfortable, me and my headset. And of late, you have been maligning my headset, and finally, you basically said, look, you've got to get another headset. I said, all right, I assume all headsets are created equal. So I acquiesced to your demands, your foot stomping, penny ante demand that I get a new headset, which, by the way, folks, I'm on my old headset now. More on this later. Yeah. But I get the new headset, and what happened? Tell the people what happened.
First of all,
what happened?
First of all, you've been using a dog shit headset for a long time, and it finally the wheels fell off. So there's the butchering of two analogies all in one. I sent you a link. I couldn't recommend you a new headset because I don't use a headset, and most people I know don't use headsets. We use a microphone that's either stationary or on something that will keep it somewhat stationary, and we have headphones on.
But Brian, that is for the regular broadcaster. That's for the people who just sit there and say what the people want to hear. I say whatever comes into my mind. That's why people love me. I say what I feel, what comes from the heart. That's why people have joined the cult of Cornette, and I need some fucking movement for that. I need some freedom of movement. I need to, sometimes when I've jotted down notes on things to talk about on the show. I might be sitting in my chair here up in the Fortress of Solitude, the office at the Castle Cornette, and I might be sitting in my chair and looking at my desk with some things I've jotted down, or if I'm talking to a guest, or I'm extrapolating on some theories or some prognostications that I'm disseminating to the cult members, then I will pace. I'll stand up and I'll pace back and forth. I'll put my hands on the back of my brand new leather desk chair that's got wheels on it, and I'll pace back and forth. But I move around. I can't be tied down to just static broadcasting.
Right, and I accept that. As something you're going to do. It does change, I think, the way people listen to the show now that they can hear that you're admitting that while you're answering these questions, you're basically running around your room. I mean, it's an endurance.
No, I'm plugged in. That's another thing. I've got about 8 or 9 feet of cord here. I can't get too far, but go ahead. I tell the folks we got the headset. We got a headset. You recommended a headset. Yeah. And then, but the thing is, you have to get it on the internet. Well, people know I do not buy things off the internet because generally it takes me so long to figure out how to do it that I end up not wanting the thing or punching a hole in something.
This was not that. This was not that. I actually got a recommendation. I found someone who uses a headset, and because you're about to malign whatever just happened, I'm not going to say his name here, but someone recommended a headset that him and several other people associated with his podcast use.
Well, I'm not going to malign his headset because it ended up not getting to be the one that I got.
Well, that's the point. When you say it has to be easy and sent to you, I literally sent you an email. I said, click this link and buy this. But
that's on the internet, so then I have to hand it off to Stacy.
It was a direct link.
So she can. Well, the thing is, it's going to ask me all kinds of questions and enter my shit, and who knows who the fuck gets that shit, right? The only thing you ought to be buying off the internet is Cornette's Collectibles at JimCornette.com, because we got an ex-CIA guy to build our website. But anyway, it takes me a while, and it irritates me. I don't do it. So I turned that stuff over to Stacy. Well, as she went to order the headset that you wanted me to get, she saw that it got a negative review on fucking Google Who or Yaplex or
Amazon.
Whatever the fuck, Amazon, whatever the fuck it was. But this other one got 5 stars and especially good for Skype. So she got that, and it was the same price. So she got that one. But I was already set to be mad at you anyway because I didn't realize all headsets were not created equal. And I also didn't realize that whereas the one that I'm wearing now, the one that I'm used to, the one that I'm happy and comfortable with, the one that fits my head and also my face, plugs in on the right-hand side because I got to plug it into my computer gimmick down here on the right-hand side of me. Well, the new one was plugging in the left-hand side. So the cord was going across me. I felt like I was being strangled, being restrained by that cord all over the top of me. And I couldn't hear myself in this. So it was like talking with earmuffs on, with earmuffs on, because I couldn't hear myself in the headset. I could only hear that I was talking, but if I took the headset off, I could hear myself much better. Even though your sound and the sound of listening to things was actually, I will say, superior to this one.
Well,
however, the point is, it was giving me a fucking headache, and you're trying to tell me from New York how to get into settings on my computer, which is not a Mac, but an MC.
A PC or a Mac?
Those things. and there's no buttons to click on. What are you laughing at me for? There's no buttons to click, so we can't regulate it. So you're now blaming Stacy because she changed the recommendation. I'm saying it's the same price, so I think both of y'all's fucked up. And I'm going back to my... I think I sound great on this microphone, my comfortable blanky microphone.
Well, you know why you feel that way.
But you've been telling me, and then you had me hang up and call back on the Skype machine before we started recording because I was modulating. You've got me so flustered. You've destroyed my self-confidence. I don't know. It's always. I feel like now everything I say is going to sound horrible. I'm going to sound like a goddamn the Black Scorpion. For heaven's sake, I'm afraid to speak up and say anything. You can tell how timid I am right now. So we gonna do this?
Sorry, what were you saying?
No. Yeah.
For the record, I'm not blaming Stacy.
Palmer that did that Black Scorpion music, by the way. I'm just wondering if.
For the record, I did not blame Stacy.
Well, no, but she's going to hear it that way anyway, as soon as I tell her. And then you're in deep shit, boy.
No. And everyone heard it again right there, Jim. And I think what is clear, the only thing anyone who listens to that can pick up and walk away with is that I sent you an email with a direct link. I said, click this link, purchase this, and you took that link and just did something else altogether.
Well, first of all, you might have to pick yourself up and walk yourself away from here in a second if you keep bowing up at me. I clearly stated also as well that I handed it off to somebody else, so my hands are clean. But the fact is, basically you're saying I'd have been okay if I'd have listened to you and followed your instruction because you're a soul of veracity.
I'm a soul of veracity, and accuracy is very important to me. So when I send you a link, that's the accurate link for you to click to get the accurate microphone to make this show better and go to the next level